Hi, everybody. My name is Rennie Grames. I am the producer, lead actress, and co-director of the short film Side Effect.
My name is Andrea Schreeman, and I also was a director on the film and the production designer, and I produced the film as well. And Side Effect is about a greedy psychiatrist who is overprescribing the wonder drug panacetlin when she mysteriously begins exhibiting the drug's side effects herself.
Andrea, I would love to hear from you, your side of the story on how this film came to be.
You and I met at Sundance and we're like really gravitated toward each other. And I remember us really committing to each other's careers. Hey, I want to help you. I want to help you too. And then just a couple months later, a women's organization that we were both part of, Women in Media, put out a call for shorts. They were going to help women make some shorts. We went to go look for a script and we found Marty Lang's really tight little script that was at the time called Panacetlin, now known as Side Effect. And I just saw it as a great leading role for you. And that was like one of the things that was foremost in my mind was how can we elevate you as an actor? And then also, we needed something that was tight and small and easy to shoot in 3 days because that's what the Women in Media program was about, project was about. And then we went to go submit it, and like 48 hours before the contest was over, or like, submissions were due, they said, oh, we can't accept this because it's written by a man.
Which was like, I guess makes sense, but also very ironic because we just like wanted to be supportive and inclusive of everybody. But we decided to make it anyway.
We decided to make it anyway, right? I went to Utah and you had such a deep, very rich community of fellow filmmakers to call upon to help us make this with very limited resources. And everybody was phenomenal. Yeah, talk about that. I mean, how do you know all these people, and why are there so many great people making movies in Utah?
Our film community here in Utah is small, but it's fierce. And I don't know if that's because of the Sundance Film Festival. We have that in our backyard every year. I remember going to New York and going to LA several times, attempting to move as an actress. And I would always get called back here to book TV shows or book movies. And I just started producing content here. And of course, the more you work, the more you know people and the more you work, so it just sort of was a default in my world that I started working here. And I've made everything from commercials to YouTube videos to being in movies and TV shows here in Utah. And a lot of people don't know how amazing it is to film in here, Utah. And we took advantage of that with this film. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. Okay, so I have a question for you, and that is about our Kickstarter campaign. This is, we didn't even do the Kickstarter until after we had shot the movie, but we realized like to post it and then to put it out in the world, we were going to need more than what you and me and Marty could put together ourselves. And I'll say, like, your company Story Mode was actually like really the lion's share of that, the production budget. But then we decided we needed to raise some extra money. So can you talk a little bit about the process of our Kickstarter?
Yeah. So Kickstarter, it was quite the process because we decided to do it over the holidays. And I don't know if this was just a timing thing or if it's just like when we decided we were going to start submitting. And in fact, we made this film back in 2019, the summer of 2019. So it's been 2 years since we made this film, and it's really exciting to start to see, reap some of the benefits of our hard work. But it was it December or a full year later that was it that
January?
Yeah. So well, it must have been just through Christmas because I remember being in Virginia for Christmas and I was like in my in-laws, basement making posts and doing live streams and
Right. And then I went to Virginia, by the way, for New Year's. And so I was doing it in January. Thank you, Virginia.
Yeah, thank you, Virginia. I think I had a little bit of trepidation going into a Kickstarter over the holidays because I was just like, why would people donate to a short film, during the holidays? And to be honest, I think it's one of the best times to do a Kickstarter because people are feeling generous and passionate, and they're spending money anyway, during the holidays. And I think our messaging through the Kickstarter was probably somewhat inspiring to people. We were telling mental health stories, and we had a psychiatrist involved with our Kickstarter, and we were sharing some really personal things. And one of the things that I think that people resonated with that as we were sharing our journey making the film. The production part of the film was self-funded by our production company and you and Marty. But you can only get so far on your own funds, right? Especially when it's in the indie film world. And so we were very lucky to have so many generous people donate during the holidays. And it was an amazing experience raising money for this film so that we could put more money towards the post-production, our sound design, our music design, and ultimately submit to festivals like this and start talking as artists around the world, which has been so exciting.
Yeah, and then the only thing I want to add to that is that those folks who joined the journey of this film back then in December of 2019 and January of 2020, it's really fun to be going through the festival process and the awards process with them, because they're involved with us now. And it's like we have this little community, and it's the people who made it, the people we shot it with, the people who supported us. And so it's like a big family, and that's a really nice part of the whole crowdfunding. It doesn't matter if you give $1 or 100. It's just nice to have people there as part of the filmmaking journey.
Absolutely. Which actually leads me to the question that I have for you, Andrea, which is, you've been largely managing our film festival submission process, and I would love to know your perspective on what that's been like over the past, year and a half now?
Yeah, I think we must have started submitting. That's probably why we were doing that crowdfunding then, is because we wanted to submit for something in like May, of 2020 or early 2020. And of course the pandemic hit, and we got into nothing in that first year, nothing. And so we had 21 rejections from film festivals. Luckily, because we had done that crowdfunding, we would come together every once in a while and say, do we want to spend another $300 on submissions? And we decided one last push, and we submitted to like 20 festivals, and we just started getting in. And we premiered at Kansas City, and then we won a bunch of awards at the Big Sur Film Festival, and then like we're getting it's once a week I'm going like, hey, guess what? And then, hey, guess what? And then, hey, guess what? But let's go through some of these awards.
Yeah, it's been really exciting, especially during a year where, like you mentioned, we premiered at Kansas City International Film Festival, and it was an online festival, which of course is new for anybody attending film festivals. And it was really fun actually to attend something online. It kind of forced conversation in a way, maybe if, just to because they facilitated group conversations. And anyway.
Yeah, and you got to meet the filmmakers from all the other places. And I don't want to skirt over this thing of we were rejected from 21 film festivals, because that is, look, there's a lot of rejection in entertainment. A lot of people say no, right? But I've always heard that like with every no, you're that much closer to the yes, right? And I really think it says something huge about us and our belief in this film. But one of those rejections that we got was the Los Angeles, it's like international shorts, LA international Los Angeles international shorts competition. And I've always heard that this is one of the top shorts festivals in the world. And they called me. The guy who runs that festival called me and said, we love your film, you're a finalist. And I was like, great. So I know this film is great. You knew our film was great. We all thought our film was great, but we couldn't get in anywhere. But that one guy calling just made me feel like we really should keep showing up, because someone's going to get it. Someone's going to get it. I don't know when, I don't know how, but someone's going to get it. And eventually they did. So we got, at Big Sur, we got Best Director for you and me. You got Best Actress. Your husband, Boston McConaughey, who has this, he's just so involved in this film and it was so amazing. He was the DP, he was the editor, he did the visual effects. He got best FX, VFX. Then at Indie X, we got outstanding achievement for a thriller short. And then at the Sydney International Film Festival, we got best short film. We just got best horror short at Rocky Mountain Film Festival. And then we have been nominated for Best Emerging Female Filmmaker at AFIN International. What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh, what does that mean to me? I think when that came through, I just was like, yeah, what does that even mean? And awesome. Like, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where we join these women's programs. I'm actually president of the Women in Film chapter here in Utah. And I just feel like we're always trying to share our voice, support other women's voices. I try to hire as many women as possible, at least, be equitable with with the amount of men on set, and it's a tough industry to be in, period. And so I think that knowing that our voices as females are being heard just a little bit is just exciting, and it shows that like these organizations are worth their time,
Yeah. For me, I had to go to the dictionary and look up the word emerging because I literally could not even digest best emerging. I am nominated. I could possibly be someone's going to tell me soon, but you and I might actually be the best emerging female filmmakers. So for me, I got to this definition there that said being known, that's what emerging was, being known. And I thought, yeah, more people are knowing who I am. I'm being known for being a director, for making great work, and for this, now for this genre, a satirical thriller is what I like to call it, and or just a thriller, and that feels really good because there's been a lot of years of not being known. So what's next for you? What are you up to now? How has this, directing this film, acting in this film, producing Side Effect, what has that led to, and what are you up to now?
Directing this film, acting in this film was a very exciting part of 2019 and has led to my husband and I producing our first feature, which actually we did do in 2020. January 2020 hit, and we decided, come hell or high water, we were going to make our sci-fi action feature film called Alien Country. And then hell literally hit, and we had to figure out how to make it happen. And in more ways than one, the pandemic actually benefited us in that, like, there were many people who wanted to work very badly during the year 2020. So while it definitely had its challenges, we were very, very lucky to film our first feature film, direct it together, and now we are in the post process, which has reminded me so much of Side Effect because we are sitting side by side, similar to what we did during Side Effect, and with you, Andrea, in that, like, picking acting takes, watching all of the takes and picking them, and playing with the edit and seeing how things fit together. And it's just a very, very exciting process.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Way to really use the pandemic, to advance your career. That's so cool.
How about you? What have you got coming next?
I have a development deal, and this is something that I did all throughout 2020 was, create our pitch materials and packages for my first television show as a creator. And that it's actually in the unscripted world. And now I'm an EP on a second show. And I just got hired as the showrunner and director of, I'm calling it the Untitled Lesbian Legacy Project. So it's an unscripted show that I'm show running. And that is, I think that's a direct result of us winning all these awards and me, what I did over the last year. And with that project, my crew is 100% women.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
my
gosh.
Well, thank you so much to Z Shorts for having us. We are incredibly excited to be part, again, like Andrea said, to be showing all over the world, and hope that you enjoy our short film Side Effect.